Tonight, the space industry is once again reminded that rocket science is brutally difficult after a massive explosion involving a Blue Origin New Glenn rocket shook Cape Canaveral, Florida. The explosion happened during what is known as a hot fire test at Launch Complex 36 in Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. According to Blue Origin, the rocket experienced what the company called an anomaly while engineers were testing the engines on the launch pad before a planned launch. Videos from the scene showed the giant rocket suddenly erupting into a huge fireball, lighting up the night sky and sending smoke and flames high into the air. Thankfully, no injuries were reported and all personnel were accounted for. Now, one of the biggest questions everyone is asking is simple: what actually caused the Blue Origin explosion? At this moment, the exact cause has not officially been confirmed. Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos himself admitted that it is too early to know the root cause. However, experts believe the failure likely happened during the engine ignition sequence of the static fire test. During these tests, the rocket engines are fired while the rocket remains attached to the launch pad. This is one of the most dangerous moments in rocket development because the vehicle is fully fueled with highly explosive propellants. Several aerospace analysts are already speculating that the explosion may have involved a fuel system malfunction, engine instability, pressure buildup, or a cryogenic leak involving supercooled liquid fuel. Rocket engines operate under extreme temperatures and pressures, and even a tiny defect can trigger catastrophic failure within seconds. This is especially significant because the rocket involved was New Glenn, Blue Origin's massive heavy-lift launch vehicle designed to compete directly with SpaceX's Falcon Heavy and Starship systems. Do not forget to subscribe, like and share for more updates. Thanks. New Glenn has been in development for more than a decade and represents billions of dollars in investment from Jeff Bezos. For people unfamiliar with Blue Origin, here's why this matters. Blue Origin is the private space company founded by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. The company was officially established in the year 2000 with the goal of making space travel cheaper, reusable, and eventually accessible for millions of people. Its long-term vision is to help humans live and work in space. Over the years, Blue Origin became famous for its reusable New Shepard rocket, which carried tourists and celebrities to the edge of space. The company also develops rocket engines, lunar landing systems for NASA's Artemis moon missions, and giant orbital rockets like New Glenn. The use of Blue Origin goes far beyond space tourism. The company is deeply involved in launching satellites, supporting NASA lunar missions, building reusable rocket technology, national security space launches, and future plans for moon bases and commercial space stations. In fact, Blue Origin recently secured important NASA contracts connected to America's future moon missions, making this explosion a serious setback not only for Bezos, but potentially for NASA timelines as well. Cape Canaveral itself has a legendary history in space exploration. Located in Florida, it has served as one of America's most important launch sites since the early days of the space race. Do not forget to subscribe. Many historic NASA missions launched from this region, and now private companies like Blue Origin and SpaceX are using the same area to build the future of commercial spaceflight. This explosion is embarrassing for Blue Origin, but it is not necessarily the end of the company's ambitions. SpaceX also suffered multiple explosions during the development of Falcon rockets and Starship before achieving success. The difference is that SpaceX has built a culture around rapid testing and fast recovery, while Blue Origin has often been criticized for moving slower despite massive funding from Jeff Bezos. The bigger concern is timing. Blue Origin has been trying to prove it can seriously compete with Elon Musk's SpaceX, especially in heavy lift launches and government contracts. An explosion like this damages confidence, delays missions, and could raise questions from NASA and investors about reliability. At the same time, rocket development has always involved failure. Every major space program in history, NASA, SpaceX, Russia, China, has experienced catastrophic explosions. The companies that survive are the ones that learn from the failures quickly. Jeff Bezos responded by saying the company will rebuild and continue flying because it's worth it. That statement shows Blue Origin is trying to project confidence despite what is clearly a major setback. One thing is certain. The new space race between Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk just became even more intense.